Love it.
Heck yeah. What's it called?
Made Delicious.
Made Delicious. All right. There you go. There you go. Author of Made Delicious. Free.
Yeah. Free plug.
Free plug.
Keith Schroeder.
Kick us off, Rob. Kick us off.
All right. So we're here for this episode of Cooking with Crypto. We're gonna kind of change up the whole flow of the show a little bit and throw you guys what we'd like to call a couple of blocks. We're gonna break it up into. From now on, this is going to be kind of the framework of our show.
Well, there's a blockchain that we're talking about.
Right, exactly. So you want things in blocks, right? We're all block fans of the blockchain. We want to hear our content in chains of blocks. So
no doubt.
Start off with a little cooking tip, then a couple of crypto blocks, some knowledge in the middle there, a couple different blocks of. Just different topics for cryptos, and then at the end we're gonna end this off with a life hack.
Ooh, a life hack?
Yeah.
You got one? You got one stored?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to come up with one every time we talk, and we'll see how that goes.
So in summary, we got 5 blocks. The first block is a cooking block. Then in the middle, 1, 2, 3 cryptocurrency related blocks, and then ending it with a life hack.
You got it, Spence.
Love it. Let's do it.
So today we're missing Marshall. Marshall couldn't make it today, but he will be back in an episode or two pretty soon, and he'll be prepared to talk a bit about some of the tax stuff. Right, that's what everybody's gonna have on their mind here in a month or so. It's December. January is gonna be a big month for that. So let's kick this off. Cooking tip, man. All right.
What you got?
Cauliflower. We're going to talk about baking cauliflower and doing it right.
All right.
This stuff by itself, man, I'm not a huge cauliflower fan without it being baked. Like just raw cauliflower, I don't like the taste of it at all.
I don't either.
But baked cauliflower,
it's quite good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's quite good.
And we're going to talk about how to do that right. So, First off, first tip, you got your cauliflower. It comes in a wrap package, right?
Sure.
It's already ready for you to break up. So most people, you'll open that up and you break off the little, basically the branches of the cauliflower. I guess
whatever they call them.
Yeah, the leaves,
the little flowers.
Yeah, probably should have googled that ahead of time, but instead of opening that package up, don't open it. Take it and smash it against your counter. Top hand on the top of the cauliflower. Smash it down with enough force to break up that cauliflower. You can break it within that package. Then you just open up the package and pour it out onto your pan. Get rid of all the leaves and the green things, and you're good to go.
Okay.
You're ready for seasoning.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
So now let's talk about the seasoning for cauliflower. All right, easiest thing to do: salt, pepper, garlic. Basically,
all 3 of those.
Fresh
garlic, probably minced garlic.
You can do minced garlic. You can do garlic powder.
Okay,
for me, for easy use, I do garlic powder because it's quick.
Sure.
But minced garlic's amazing in there.
Okay.
Throw that, so salt, pepper, and garlic on it. Kind of flavor it to taste. You want to use a bit more salt and garlic than pepper. Mm-hmm. Then a little oil on the top. Now here's where you can add a little twist to it, right? Most people will use olive oil, right? That'll be your typical oil, or even what's canola? Yeah,
or canola, vegetable
canola oil.
Canola oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of using either one of those, I like to use coconut oil.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of coconut oil.
Coconut oil just gives it an awesome twist on the flavor profile. So all you do is you take for one cauliflower, take about a spoonful of coconut oil, throw it in a little bowl or a cup, heat it up for about a minute in the microwave.
Okay.
Get your seasoning on that cauliflower, pour it all over top, mix it up, throw it on a pan, and then stick it in the oven for 425, 30 to 35 minutes. You'll thank me later.
Dang.
It's a great side dish.
Man, that does sound good. I think the last time I had cauliflower, it was covered in cheese, and that was the only way to make it taste good for me. But this sounds like a cheeseless option to making it taste really good.
No cheese required. You're going to get plenty of fat from that coconut oil or olive oil.
Awesome.
Yep.
Nice. Great block, man. Great cooking block. First cooking block ever, really.
Yep, that's right. So on to the next block, we're gonna go on to our crypto topic for the day. One of them, and I think the the way we want to structure this is we want to talk about 3 things today, right?
Okay.
We want to talk about wallets, exchanges, and transfers, and basically how all 3 relate.
And why do we want to talk about that? Like, why is that important?
So those are really the 3 essentials for utilizing and owning any kind of cryptocurrency, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. They're all going to utilize all 3 of those.
So it's like you need a wallet to store it, right?
Yep.
And to transfer out of. Right?
That's right.
And then you need an exchange to, in most cases,
Convert from whatever your home currency is, right? If it's USD for us, you convert USD to, let's say, Bitcoin. We'll probably use Bitcoin for most of our examples because it is the largest and most well-known cryptocurrency out there.
Sure.
At the time.
Yep.
So we use an exchange to convert from USD to Bitcoin.
Okay.
And then you can either leave it on the exchange or send it to your wallet. And the transfer process is the next thing we'll talk about.
Awesome.
So let's start with the wallets.
So like 3 fundamentals that we're going to be giving everyone.
Exactly.
Nice.
So let's start with wallets. Take it away, Spence. What wallets?
What wallet do I use?
Yeah, what wallets do you use? What wallets would you use?
So.
And maybe what's the premise behind the wallet?
Yeah, I guess wallets are meant for storing your private keys, and your private keys is essentially what is your claim to ownership over the Bitcoin that you come into ownership of, right? So you need you want your wallet. I think your most fundamental part. You want it to be safe, right?
Yep.
You want to trust that your wallet is storing it securely, and that no bad people out there can come and take what is yours, right? You don't want to be stolen from.
Exactly.
And much like you don't give away the keys to your home, to strangers or to, a bank or to anyone, you keep the keys to your home in your own pocket. And that's the way I kind of like to think about my Bitcoin or my cryptocurrency wallets, right?
Right.
I want to be able to carry it, close to me and not shell it out and give anyone access to it, right?
Exactly. And what types of wallets are there?
So there's kind of I guess there's multiple types. There's a lot of different wallet softwares out there. Mm-hmm. So you can have a wallet that's on your desktop computer, right?
Yeah.
So you can go online, you could download a disk image and, load a wallet onto your, MacBook or your PC.
That's right.
And you can have it be, a desktop wallet.
Mm-hmm.
You can have your wallet be on your mobile device, right? On your Android phone, on your iPhone.
And some are linked, right? You have an app on your phone, you have an app on your computer for the same wallet.
Totally. Yeah. So some of them have done a really good job in software to have it in multi-platform environments. So you can have a mobile wallet. You can also have a wallet that lives on the exchange, which we haven't really gotten into exchanges too deeply yet, but I think you got the fundamental premise at the beginning of the show. So
you consider that, you'll hear the term hot wallet, and that'll be coined, the phrase will be coined hot wallet for those type of wallets that you keep on the exchange and that you can actively trade out of.
Yep.
Yep.
You can also have what's called a hardware wallet.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one to know about.
That's a really great one to know about because it's currently one of the best ways to secure your Bitcoin, and traditionally the best way has been to store it on a hardware wallet. So a hardware wallet is basically a USB stick that we know and love, and it's
completely offline once you've got it on the USB.
Mm-hmm. It's pre-formatted to accept your private keys, and then once you've transferred your private keys on there, they live on there, and boom, you put that into a safe or a safety deposit box.
Yeah, and why would you do that? Why would you put it? Why would you take your keys? Why would you take your private keys off of a hot or a cold wallet that's say a cold wallet would be considered like the wallet on an app or a wallet on your computer that you're not actively trading out of, but it's just kind of used as a cloud storage.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
So why would you go from that to a hardware wallet?
It's a great question. And the reason you wouldn't want to leave a lot of your Bitcoin assets or your crypto assets in a hot wallet for a long period of time is that just like any other centralized server or any company, it is susceptible to being hacked, right? So it is digital in nature.
Yep.
So the longer you keep it in an environment or in a system that can be hacked, you're running the risks of losing it and having it be stolen.
Right.
Look at Equifax just recently.
Yep.
Right? They had a breach, and then millions and millions of social security numbers are now out in the public.
Yep, and exchanges can be hacked as well. We've seen that in our short time dealing with cryptocurrency. There's been several exchanges that have been hacked. Luckily, none of our assets have been hacked or stolen. But that's one piece. But I think the other reason maybe you would go from a hot wallet, a cold wallet, and then move any of those holdings to an offline hardware wallet is because then you want to take complete ownership of your private keys and have no susceptibility to any kind of internet hacking that can go on these different wallets. Anything that you have a passcode to get it access to has the potential to be hacked. Now, the complication of the complicated nature of your passcode will really determine your susceptibility. If you use a really easy password, then you're more susceptible to being hacked. There's
definitely ways to protect yourself.
Exactly.
And the exchanges are doing a really great job, I think, from what I've seen, in making sure that those higher level security measures are in place.
They are. They use 2-factor authentication, which is huge. Some of them actually use 3. There's one that we use that we'll talk about in later episodes that's more of an advanced trading platform. It uses 3, which is interesting. The other reason I would say you want to move it to a hardware ledger or a hardware wallet, is just so you can have it yourself. You have complete ownership. You become what they say is become your own bank.
Be your own bank.
That's one of the biggest catchphrases in Bitcoin, and that's what that means.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing for people to really understand and realize at first. I didn't even understand what that meant at first.
Yep.
In the last 4 or 5 months, I've taken a lot more ownership of my financial life in adopting this becoming your own bank mindset. And it's a little scary at first, I won't lie. But at the end of the day, I feel much more empowered and in control of my assets now than ever before.
Yeah. So to sum it all up, the wallets that you can have, the types of wallets.
There's one more. There's one more.
Okay, yes, go.
Or at least one more.
For sure, go.
There's also another type of wallet is a paper wallet.
Oh, good point. That's right.
It's kind of like the precursor to the hardware wallets was you could just have a paper wallet.
Yep.
So you could get your private keys, write them down on a sheet of paper, and keep them in that really safe spot behind your desk.
Or even print off a QR code, and that QR code is actually your hexadecimal code to access your tokens.
There you go.
And that's what's funny about paper wallets is you've literally just printed off cash.
Yeah, it's
this exact same concept. Is you're your own bank, and now I'm taking, or you're your own stored wealth, and you're taking that note and making it valuable.
Wow, I hadn't really connected with that until just now.
Yeah.
Like the ability to literally print on a single sheet of white paper, plain Jane white paper, you could have.
Because I was thinking about doing that.
Millions and millions of dollars on that.
I was thinking about doing that exact thing for my nieces and nephews for Christmas. Is I want to print off, take a few dollars worth of Bitcoin now, print it off, give it to their parents, and say, hey, store this in a safe place, and then hopefully in a few years, give it to them. Let's see what it's worth. Wow. Let's see what it's worth when they're ready to go to college.
What a great idea! I think I'm going to do that for my family this year.
Yeah, it's a great gift idea.
It is a great gift idea.
So
and I do want to put this in there. So the last thing I want to say about wallets, and I know we've gone a little over our block time, but
that's fine.
I think it's been good.
This has been, yeah.
is there is a concept called a multi-signature wallet. And I want to introduce the fact that we know about it, but I don't want to do a deep dive in it right now. But it is the future of securing your wallet, both on through the exchanges and in your own personal way. But we'll dive more into that on a different episode. So that's the multi-sig wallet. What's our next block, Rob?
So our next block is exchanges, but I want to sum up the wallet block, and we're gonna put some. We should put some links on Cooking with Crypto, the website, to these different terms, so people can research them on their own. We'll find good explanations of each. But we've got a hot wallet, a cold wallet, a hardware wallet, and then also printed paper wallet, paper or printed wallet. And you can print it on any kind of surface you want. It doesn't have to be just paper.
And then there's the multi-sig, the way that comes in is how that wallet is configured, because that wallet is software in a lot of ways. You can't have a multi-signature paper wallet, I don't think, but you can have a multi-signature digital wallet.
We're nerd out on that.
And we're gonna nerd out on that, baby.
We'll nerd out on that one on another episode.
More prepared,
I want to know more about that detail for sure.
For sure,
that's something I want to learn about. Okay, so.
Next block.
Let's talk about the exchanges.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
First crypto block done. I think we were only 10 minutes over what we planned.
Nah, man, Reddit, that's pretty good. That was about 9.
Okay, sweet.
So we're right on track. So crypto block 2, exchanges. Mm-hmm. We've kind of given the basic level of detail on exchanges, and I think we can talk about the different kinds and what to kind of watch for, and then in next episode we'll actually go into the main exchanges that we use.
Like it. Okay.
So exchanges, they're used for converting your home currency,
your fiat currency
into whatever cryptocurrency is offered on the exchange. So this is a key learning. Not all exchanges have all of the offered cryptocurrencies. In fact, most of them will only have a few.
A couple that they've decided that they want to give you access to.
Exactly. So the main ones that you'll see are typically the top 5 now.
Sure.
Which is your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and then possibly Dash or Monero.
Yeah.
They kind of go back and forth.
Even those, you got to go into some interesting exchanges, right?
Yeah, crypto market cap is a great place to look and see what different kind of currencies are out there.
It's
the volume.
Coin market cap, I believe.
Is it coin market cap?
Yeah, it's coin market cap.
Okay, we'll throw the link to it on our website. For sure. So definitely have access to that. Kind of look at any interest in the different currencies.
Coin market cap.
So I'll write that down. But the exchanges. So let's talk about the exchanges a bit.
Okay, maybe we cover what the top 3 maybe US based ones are.
Well, I would say what to look for. Let's talk about what to look for in exchange.
What to look for? Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, when you're choosing an exchange, for me, I'm looking at what coins they offer.
Yeah. And let's talk about it from these our listeners. Let's assume that most of them are just getting into this space.
Okay.
Right. So this will be their first interaction with an exchange. What has drawn you to this marketplace? It's probably Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin. You've heard of these, maybe even Bitcoin Cash. Mm-hmm. But you'll have heard of these different coins, and you want to purchase them.
You want to buy them.
You want to buy them.
And what an exchange is essentially going to do when you sign up for one, at some point you're going to have to link up your bank, right? Mm-hmm. So just like you link up your Bank of America or Chase Bank to E-Trade or any other Robinhood or any other investing platform that's out there, you gotta kind of have a broker, right? You gotta broker the deal to get the assets.
Exactly.
So that's the point of an exchange. And to think about it in the way that we currently do finances, right? You go through, you're not going, the exchange, it's kind of interesting though. It's almost like part bank, but then also part
Exactly, because we talked about hot wallets, and the exchange is what you would consider.
Wallet, right?
You would consider a hot wallet because you could easily park your currency balance on the exchange and while you're waiting to trade it, or just leave it there indefinitely.
Yeah.
Most people don't suggest that, but what I would also say is when you're looking at an exchange, make sure it's reputable, because you are going to be in a lot of cases, if you're trying to convert cash to crypto, you're going to want to you're going to have to link your bank account.
You're going to have to. You're going to have to, and when you do that, you're most likely going to have to hand over a social security number at some point. Is that the case for everyone?
For the
some of them
for
make
the
you
larger,
verify your identity.
Yeah,
we should just say that. Like,
you
some
have
of
to
them
verify.
make you verify your identity. Not all of them do. Mm-hmm. But maybe more of the reputable ones they will.
Exactly, and we're gonna go into detail about really the top 3 that we would use in the next episode. But that's basically the use case for an exchange, just converting money and converting cash to cryptocurrencies. And then also on a lot of the exchanges, you can convert coin and shapeshift coin from one cryptocurrency to another. So
it's like currency trading.
It's currency trading. That's exactly what it is. It's open currency market. So
because there's thousands of different alt currencies, as they're called, alternative coins.
So define that. So let's define that phrase, because a lot of people will hear that and they go, what the hell does altcoin mean?
Altcoin is not a brand. It's just it's kind of a classification for coins that aren't Bitcoin.
Pretty much, yeah. And like, even Ethereum has been lumped outside of altcoin because it's
kind of its own
grown
little platform thing.
Yeah, it's grown so much, but for the most part, anything not Bitcoin
or
Ethereum will be considered an altcoin.
An alt
coin.
Yeah.
ALT coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are some exchanges that allow you to transfer value, and convert between Bitcoin to Ethereum to something else, something else back to Bitcoin. So you can really just move assets around.
Yep. And one key piece of that I want to talk about. So the people coming in, because when you're a day trader in the stock market, most of the time you have set fees. Like, I think right now, like Wells Fargo is like $30 a transaction, which is high. Ooh, all the way down to like what was the one you had mentioned earlier? Not Peter Pan, but
Robinhood.
Robinhood, thank you.
Yeah.
Peter Pan. But Robinhood, which is known for its extremely low trading fees. I think they're like $1 to $6, which is normally.
E-Trade is like $6.99.
E-Trade is $6. So you'll see that, and then you come into this crypto market, and what you're going to often see is it's a percentage based. So those fees are going to be higher, and understanding that may help you choose which exchange you want to go into.
That's a good point.
Because some exchanges will charge 1.5% of the total transaction.
1.5?
1.5, which is hefty.
Holy shit.
That's very hefty.
That's very hefty.
And really, when you get into more of the other exchanges, the more reputable ones, and the ones that I would highly suggest, you're going to get into the fee range for your smaller trade volumes, which is you and me and these most of the new entrants in the market will be 0.25%. So 0.25 to 0.15%, somewhere in that range, depending on the type of trade.
Okay.
And so it's an order of magnitude less.
Yeah.
So you got to watch out for those, because you could get hit by those fees. And if you're moving small sums of money, it's not as big a deal. But once you get your feet wet and you're like, hey, you know what? It's time to. I want to put a decent chunk of change in there. Those fees will cut into your margins.
Sure.
Exactly. They'll cut into your profits. So something to be aware of when you pick your exchanges, and we're going to talk about that next time.
Sounds good.
in the different types of exchanges.
Are we shifting to the next block?
Yeah, let's shift to the next block, man.
Hopefully we covered what the purpose of an exchange is, and you got some tidbits of other knowledge in there.
Exactly. So we've talked about cauliflower, wallets, exchanges. Now,
what's next?
Third block. Let's talk about transferring this stuff.
Transfers.
Yeah, transfers.
So like from me to you.
Yeah. So exactly. So transferring. Let's say we were cooking when we first started talking about this stuff. I think we were cooking one night and you bought the drinks or something. I was like, hey man, like, you know what? I'm gonna send you my payment in Bitcoin. And that was how many months ago was it now?
Oh gosh, probably
4 or 5 months.
Probably 3 or 4 months ago.
3 or 4 months ago, yeah. So that $20 that I sent you then is worth like 60 or 80 now.
Shoot, you may have sent me that before SegWit and before the hard fork.
I did. That's
August.
right. So you got some. So you even got some Bcash out of it.
Thank you. I got a little Bcash too.
Okay.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So transferring the way transfers work is, and you may be able to talk about it a little more. Yeah. Talk about it.
Let's just think about it fundamentally, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you swipe your credit card, what happens? Like, you swipe it at a terminal, and then that transaction goes up into the cloud, right? And then it gets authorized, usually by a bank, or it goes through
or a third party,
or a credit card company, or a third party.
Exactly.
Right. So it'll hit the credit card company. They'll authorize it through a third party. If it authorizes, then boom, transaction verified, and then money will show up in the account for the business that you just bought something from.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how a transfer would work. Then you have that's one way to move money, right? Or to transfer money. Another would be I hand you $5, right? Like, I just paid Rob $5. Thanks for the Rob's rub that you're going to talk about in another episode, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So it's just the way that cryptocurrency or Bitcoin changes hands, right? So that's what we really want to talk about. The way to transfer Bitcoin is similar to I like to think about it the way you send an email, right? So if I want to send an email to Rob, rob@gmail.com, I would open up my Gmail, right? I would compose a message. I would put a subject in the message and, some text. And then I would put in the to column, rob@gmail.com. This is the recipient. And I hit send. And then I feel very confident, extremely confident that Rob received that email nearly instantaneously. And you look at it and sure enough, it's in your inbox. Boom, done. So the way I think about Bitcoin is the same kind of way.
Yeah.
If I want to transfer 0.5 Bitcoin to Rob, I open up my wallet. I start a new transaction. I put in Rob's wallet address, right, which is a really cryptographic hash key.
So let's stop there for a second.
Okay.
The cryptographic hash key. It's normally how long is that thing? Is it 64 characters or it's? I think it varies depending on what coin you're using.
I think it's 32.
32. Okay.
I feel like it's 32.
So we're gonna go with 32, and we're gonna fact check ourselves after this.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens is
32 digits. Yeah.
I ask you for money, or you say, "Hey, I'm gonna send you some money." Well, I say, "Okay, let me send you my wallet address," and this address changes every time I create.
It can.
It can. That's true.
It doesn't have to, but it should.
That's
For security reasons, you should change up a quote unquote your public key, your public wallet address.
Okay. So I copy that. I send it to you in a message, any kind of message. It could be text, it could be email. I could just show it to you, or I could write it down on paper and give it to you.
I could take a picture of it. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you'll go to, hey, new transaction. I'm going to send Rob $20 for this awesome cauliflower that we had tonight.
Yep.
And you copy that in, paste it, enter the amount, click send. That gets sent to me. And that is value over messaging. which is the basic understanding of one of the basic concepts of Bitcoin.
And I think
one of the fundamental concepts.
Absolutely, and the way that it gets to you is something we should do in a deeper dive.
Yep.
Because the way that it gets to you is different than the credit card example that I gave you earlier.
That's true.
I don't know if we want to go into that right now.
Let's talk about it at a high level. So
okay,
so let's talk about that. The transfer of money. Why is it? How is that transfer secure?
Perfect. Yeah, let's dive into that. So, Rob gives me his address. I hit send. I'm sending 0.5 Bitcoin to him, and when that transaction goes through, what it does is it goes to the network, right? Mm-hmm. To the Bitcoin network. And it basically goes in a queue, right? So there's transactions happening globally. They're happening all over the world at all hours of the day, all minutes, all seconds of the day. There's a transaction occurring right now in this field. And when I send it to Rob, it goes into a queue. And then attached to that, it has a fee, a small transaction fee attached to it. And what they call that is the miner fee. Mm-hmm. So miners, you maybe have heard of Bitcoin mining. It's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
It's not mining for gold, right?
Just assume that it's, at this point, let's assume it's just somebody on the network. It's a node.
It's a node.
And when we say node, it's normally a system, a computer system. Somebody owns that system, and when that transfer occurs, the network is what verifies that yes, this transfer is indeed occurring. It has occurred. Rob is Spencer is the sender. Rob is the recipient. I confirm that, and it takes a certain number of confirmations for a transfer to go through. And what that does is
that's generally for the exchange when you're trying to.
That's true.
When you're trying to extract money, Bitcoin out of an exchange, you have to have a certain amount of network cycles go through.
That's true. You have to have a certain number of confirmations.
You're on the right track. Yeah.
And that's why that's basically how the exchange ensures that the money is indeed going to the right person. It's not just a hack or a glitch in the in the blockchain.
So we mentioned the miner, right? So when I send the transaction, it goes to the network, it goes in a queue, and then a bunch of those nodes that Rob was talking about around the world, which are just a bunch of high-powered computers called miners, their entire job is to validate transactions and to validate the previous blocks in the blockchain. So to basically make sure that it is a trustworthy transaction. Well, I shouldn't even say trustworthy. Just to make sure that this transaction is the amount that it has, that the Spencer party does have 0.5 Bitcoin. Cool. That the public address provided by Rob is a valid Bitcoin address. And then once a miner picks it up, it validates it and adds it to the block, adds it to the public ledger.
Yep.
Right?
And I will receive that after that occurs. And the time lapse between when you send it and when I receive it is also what they call the hash rate. Or it's well, actually
no. So the hash rate is the power at which the GPUs and the other mining equipment, the computers, it's the speed at which they can solve the SHA-256. It's like the double SHA-256 hash algorithm.
You're right. Yeah. Let's not go too. Let's not get too nerdy.
Yeah, we won't go there.
But you're right. But basically, that time lapse is the time that it takes for that currency to verify on its network that transaction occurred. And so different currencies will have different speeds. I think Bitcoin is actually one of the slower ones right now because it's getting
clogged up.
It's getting clogged up because of the new volume. But
additionally, the reason for that is, and again, a little nerdy, but the SegWit has not been adopted by a lot of the exchanges.
Yep. And
that is holding back the transaction speed by about a factor of 4.
Right now. Definitely. So. That's true. So there's definitely improvements that can be made that are coming.
And they will be made.
So
absolutely.
Right now, when you transfer money, there will be somewhat of a delay, but it
always lands.
It always lands. Yeah,
It's always landed.
as long as and here's another key piece about transferring.
Okay.
So because there are so many coins out there, be very wary of what type of address you're sending it to. So ensure that the currency that you are sending is the same currency as the recipient's address. So what I mean by that is you have these things called you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, you have Litecoin, and you have Bitcoin Cash as your 4 examples. If I send Bitcoin to a Bitcoin Cash or a Litecoin address, it will not work. Well, what will happen is
work, right?
it may get lost. So you have a potential for losing your coin.
Yeah.
So, and that's what happened to Marshall. Marshall will talk about that next time he's on the show. Is he accidentally sent Bitcoin to a Bitcoin Cash address?
Oh no!
And
okay.
it's you can get it back, but it's a process, and you basically have to bite, scratch, and kick your way through the exchange to actually get them to go do it.
You got to make a lot of noise.
It's very difficult. So ensure when you're sending this stuff that you are sending it to the same exact currency. Check the ticker. So check for Bitcoin it's BTC, and for Bitcoin Cash it's BCH. So if you get the two mixed up, you may have potential to lose your coin. So be careful in the transfer process.
Great tip.
Yeah.
Great tip. Great closing tip.
Yeah. So, all right. So that covers transfers. Last thing.
Last block.
Last block. The life hack.
The life hack.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, life hack of today's episode. You know the headrests in cars? Mm-hmm. Okay.
The one that you can remove?
The one you can remove.
Okay.
You know why you can remove them?
In case you need to put the seat down and in back.
So that's
maybe one reason.
That's one reason. Okay. But one of the other reasons and one of the other uses is you can remove the headrest. They have those long metal rods on them.
Sure.
You can use that to break the windows to escape a car. If you're ever stuck in a car and the doors are not working, the doors are locked, I don't know, you get pinned in an accident and there's a fire, yet you somehow can maneuver your way out, you can't get out. Instead of risking cutting open your arm or a foot or anything, use the headrest, remove the headrest, break the window with the headrest bars.
Wow, that's actually pretty useful. I hope to never have to deal with that.
I hope to never have to use
God,
this.
I hope to never have to use that, but
there will be. I'm telling you, there will be some life hacks that I'm going to throw out there that you hope you never have to use it. But in the case that one user had to use it, it's going to be worth the listen.
There it is.
There it is. That's our life hack. Guys, thanks so much for listening to us. Cheers again.
Check us out, cookingwithcrypto.com. Let's see, cooking_crypto on Twitter, Cooking with Crypto on Instagram, and Cooking with Crypto on SoundCloud. We're basically trying to set up shop everywhere, so
yep.
Check us out.
All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.
See ya.